I've been giving a lot of thought to what AVID means to me in terms of how I use it in the classroom, and comparing it to what I hear from other people and how they use AVID in the classroom. And I realize that my approach to AVID is very different than other people's. And I think there are two reasons for this. And I'm going to give you both reasons, and I'm going to go back in time a long ways to tell you my first reason. I was an undergrad, and I had changed majors a couple of times. Let's see, I started out as an art major. Then I went to biology, and then English. The funny thing is I had scholarships for all of those. That really is funny, but true. And I hadn't found my place yet. But at one semester, I was walking past this particular classroom, and I walked past it every couple of days on my way to a class that I was taking. And it was an education classroom. It was a classroom where they were teaching education courses. And I used to walk by this classroom and laugh at how ridiculous what they were doing was, in my humble opinion. They were playing games, they were doing bulletin boards, there was always some kind of an activity. And I thought, oh, this is ridiculous. And I knew right then, if I had any doubts, that I didn't want to be a teacher, because I thought education was much more serious than that. All right, so that's part one. Part two involves, once I finally discovered where I was the most comfortable, which was in theater, communications and theater. I was interviewing for acceptance into directing school, and one of the first questions they asked me was, do you want to be a teacher or do you want to be a professional director? And I didn't hesitate. I knew that I did not want to be a teacher. I wanted to be a professional director. And had I answered teacher, they wouldn't have accepted me into the program, because it was an MFA program and it was geared towards training professionals in performance and not educators. So that's where it began, I think. And actually, as I'm talking to you about this, there's a third part, four. There's actually two more points in how I approach AVID. I'm not very funny, and I'm not good at games. And I think that's for two reasons. I don't know why I'm not funny, but I know why I'm not good at games, and I think they're connected. I also never wanted to have children, and I don't have children. I also don't have any nieces or nephews, and my parents, consequently, didn't have any grandchildren. The friends that I hang out with and have always hung out with don't have children, so games make me uncomfortable. It truly is not my comfort zone. And I know I've talked to you about this before, so all of this, everything I'm doing in AVID is outside my comfort zone. I'm actually very serious. I'm the theater person, the thespian, who doesn't like Halloween, because I don't like playing dress up. If you're gonna put on a costume, it's because you're going on stage, and you're going to put that costume on right before you go on stage, and immediately after you're done on stage, you're going to go immediately to the dressing room, remove your makeup, remove your costume. You're not going to play around in public in it. You're not going to greet your fans in it. I'm just very serious about this. Theater is serious business. Communications, serious business. So AVID, games, I'm trying, but that's not for me, and it's not the way I approach AVID. How I approach AVID is much more, I'm searching for a word here, and see, if I were doing a blog instead of a vlog, I would just pause my pencil in midair till I came up with the word, and then I would write it, and that would sound brilliant. But because I'm vlogging, you get to see me try to work through, on my feet, as it were, or in my seat, the word I'm searching for. And I'm not going to use serious, because I've said that several times in a row, and I'm not going to use... I'm going to go with inquisitively, or pushing my students to be inquisitive, stick with that, and discover for themselves, to learn to help themselves. Yes, that's it. I'm approaching AVID from the standpoint of less just having fun and more empowering them to do this on their own. So, AVID's not the same for everyone. I love hearing about other people's games. They weren't my favorite part of Summer Jam, honestly. I liked the debates. I liked the discussions. I liked the speed dating where we were thinking on our feet and it was like little mini speeches. I like that. But some of the other things, just, it's not my style. And I've learned this semester that that's okay. That just like learning styles aren't the same for everyone, teaching styles aren't the same for everyone either. And me going out on a limb and getting out of my comfort zone is a lot different than for someone else. And, you know, honestly, playing games and doing some of the other activities that are being done in AVID are probably very comfortable for some instructors, but they're not for me. So I'm just thinking of some people I know that are doing AVID and knowing their personalities and thinking to myself, yeah, I can see that that's something they're comfortable with, and no, I can't ever see, for example, I can't ever see Dr. Sater doing, I love this. Mark showed me one of the activities he did where he held up this little frame and the character, I guess it would be a character, they put their face inside this character's cutout, and that's totally Mark. I can see that, but I could never see Dr. Sater doing that any more than I could see myself doing that, even though it sounds kind of theater-like, not my kind of theater. So anyhow, I've rambled on long enough as I try to make sense of individual AVID style, but I think I've found mine, and I think by the end of this semester and this year, all of us experimenting with different things, I hope that we've all found our own AVID style and realize that it's not the same for everybody, and that's okay.